Just first of all, on Pelly Ruddock, Nathan, it's another youngster that's had a new deal thrust upon him.
Yeah, well, he's not quite a youngster as much anymore, but he's he's developing. So no, we're pleased. We're pleased to secured him for another 3 years, and he just he's one that has attracted a little bit of attention. So it's pleasing that that they trust us with his development.
It's a signal from the club, isn't it? Him, James Justin, Isaac Vassell as well as another one that you might try and do a deal with, that you're signing them up for a bit longer.
Yeah, look, we tried to tie everyone down. Once they become, once we know that we want to move forward with them, we're not sort of backward in coming forward in terms of tying them down. And as I said, we have all our players in terms of the ones we want. We have a real nucleus of players now under long-term contracts, so it's something to build on.
And I suppose again, like the Justin, it's good for the club, it's good for the player. Everyone's probably going to do well out of it eventually.
Well, yeah. What we're looking at in short term is in terms of doing well for Luton Town and developing, all aspects of their career, and then whatever happens in the future, hopefully they move forward with Luton Town, and Luton Town move forward very, very quickly and keep pace with their development, and they keep pace with our development and so on. If anything happens differently, then we'll have a decision to make. But not we're delighted. We've got a settled squad now, and we're looking forward to the season.
And the final one on Pelly, he said that, we've just spoken to me, just probably needs to add a few more goals to his game.
Yeah, look, there's certain things we've requesting from him. His final third play needs to just improve a little bit, because everywhere else he's important. He works hard, he's big distances, he's strong, he keeps possessions for us, he's very brave, and it's just that final third really that we're asking for him to just add a little bit more quality, and that'll come in time, I'm sure, and if it does, then we have a real player on our hands.
2 days before the start of the season, expectation is ever always really high. There's good atmosphere around the place, no doubt. What are your views?
Yeah, look, it's really looking forward to the start of the season. Pre-seasons now is probably just it's probably just come run its course now, and we're looking forward to the first game. It's always good to get the season underway. There's always a few weird results and so on, but it's good to get underway, and then all your work you've done you can start to use in match situations, which is the important thing.
Have you been happy with the recruitment?
Yeah, very. Yeah, I mean, I think that we've gone after. We've probably got 95% of the ones we went after, which was very, very good. We identified early what we needed, and that would have been exactly the same whatever league we were in. So we went after the same players, regardless, and we managed to get, as I said, almost everyone. So we're very, very pleased. Both the board and the club have backed me, and they backed mine and Mick's and our staff's judgment, and hopefully it'll prove right.
Still a bit more time before the window closes. Maybe another 1 or 2.
You just never know. No, I mean, I said we're always looking to improve the squad, but in terms of numbers, in terms of if the window shut tomorrow, we'd be happy, not a problem whatsoever. But you envisage a few twists and turns, and with a month to go or 3 and a bit weeks to go, people get twitchy, people panic, people put offers in and so on. But look, our recruitment's near enough done. We might have to react to something, you never know. But look, we don't envisage to be masses of business done, but if something comes available that enables us to improve significantly, then it'll interest us.
It looks, as far as your squad is concerned, that you've almost got 2 good players for each position, if you like.
Yeah, that's what we've tried to do, and apart from centre half, where we've got actually sort of 6 centre halves, we have in terms of that we've got 3 permanent goalkeepers now, and full-backs is 2 for 2. In terms of all other places, there's a minimum of 2 per one. Obviously we have 4 very good strikers backed up with Jordan Cook, so it's a strong squad, and we have to make sure that we utilise it and make sure that we get them playing to the top of their ability.
As far as your strikers are concerned, I mean, it must be the best strike force in the division, with bringing Collins in and having Vassell and Hilton there as well.
And look, and obviously Elliot Lee as well, who's a real different one. For me, I'm happy with what we got. I wouldn't want to go and say I'd waxed lyrical about Danny last year. Obviously, I was an admirer of Collins from afar, from what he did, and since he's come into the building, he's been first class. So nothing I thought of him has diminished since I've actually got to work with him. So that's only been enhanced. So I'm very happy with what we've done there. So look, it's up for others to think which are the best and so on and so forth, but it's very strong.
It was a case of so nearly last season. Is it a case of just going and doing it this time round? And that's easier said than done, obviously.
But it's exactly that. We were a hard luck story last year. We lost the least amount of games. We had the second best defensive record. We were very high in the scoring charts. We played lovely football. We developed footballers. We moved the club forward, but we didn't get promoted. So we're kind of, and it was nearly. No excuses this year. We can't have excuses. There can't be that naivety about us. We can't allow teams to nick draws and to cost us our ultimate goal. That's why I brought the experience I brought in. That's why we're always constantly looking to improve it, so that no one thinks, okay, I'm in a comfort zone here. There's no comfort zones at Luton Town. I'm not in a comfort zone. I don't expect to be in a comfort zone, so neither are my players. So look, we're looking to move forward. We're looking to take the step that we couldn't quite do last year, and I said that's our goal.
Is it going to be a case of trying to grind wins out against some of the sort of average? I know it's hard to call them average teams, but just win those games that you need to.
It's about doing whatever it takes to one, get in the top three first. If you offer me top three now, I'll take it. But obviously we have certain ambitions at the club. But look, it's about doing whatever it takes to win football matches and win enough of them that we are better than the minimum of 20 teams in this league. So that's what we want.
Is there a bit more pressure on you this season?
I mean, I don't envisage there being any more pressure on me from anywhere else in this world apart from what I put on myself. So whatever, if there is, no problem for me. I know what I want to achieve, and my goals. Trust me, there's no fan at Luton or director or player that has more ambition than me. So the pressure I put on myself is far greater than anything I come under in my career.
And just final quick one on the chairman who's stepping down. I don't know if you've seen that. Any thoughts on?
Yeah, I just spoke to him now actually. Look, he's been a good ambassador for the club, through tough times and things. A real good personality as well. Obviously, TV personality. He's excellent when we do certain things. But he was a regular visitor to my office before games, and from an early day, I knew his face and I got to know him quite well. And look, I just thank him for the help he's given to me. I've just done that personally on the phone, but lovely fella, lovely chap, obviously a wonderful ambassador for Luton, and look, I hope we still see him at games, which I know we will.
On the contracts, well, you very rarely let a contract run down for someone that you want to keep at the club. Are you expecting more contracts to sort of be awarded as the season goes on now?
Look, what we do is we make sure we're not left open. We can't offer everyone contracts and stuff because certain people have to prove themselves. We can't offer exactly the same contracts that we did last year because we didn't get promoted. So some things has to improve. So what we've done is we've improved ones. We see that we go forward to us in a number of years. Then there's still a bit for certain people to prove, and different ages are different as well, and in lots of things. But it's a challenge. We won't leave ourselves open to anything, and we won't. We'll make sure that everyone's career starts moving forward. That's why people like Josh and Jonathan Smith, we told them early, we give them opportunities to go and find clubs. So we won't stunt anyone's career, and we won't leave ourselves open.
Yeah, it's a big season for Pelly, isn't it? Because he played over 50 games last year, his most productive season. He's got to now back that up, isn't he, again?
Yeah, and second, it's not a second season because he's been here longer, but in terms of his productivity last year, now he has to back that up, but now he has to improve because that's what he's here for. We haven't cashed in on one good season. What we've done is said, look, you've got it. There's a lot of scope for him to improve into a fantastic player. That's important for him. It's a big season for him. It's a big season for everyone. It's a big season for me, my staff, the club. It's a big season, and what we have to make sure is that we fulfil our goals, and by others improving and doing and going to another level will help us to achieve that.
You mentioned on the radio there was a specific player you might be looking to bring into the club. Is there any more news on him as well?
No, not yet. Yeah, as I said, it's wrong for me to do to sort of divulge anything. When something comes up and certain people are on our radar, if we can improve our squad, then we'll go ahead and do it. But no, nothing yet.
There's some new rules as well coming in place this season. Obviously, the rules for the retrospecting diving action and the penalty shootouts as well. What's your thoughts on both those that have come in?
Penalty shootout, no problem. I think. Look, I don't really want to comment too much on anything, any rule changes or anything, because I tend to get myself in a little bit of hot water at times. So, look, if it stamps out diving and cheating and people trying to con referees and so on, they're not well and good. It's just there's a lot of ambiguity with it in terms of did he momentum, was he running a pace, he had no contact but he was trying to avoid it, or a lot of things like that, you know, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I envisage there being plenty of talking points on that.
Is it something you've had a word with your players about to be wary of, or in the diving rule specifically, anything which you've said not to even think about doing it anymore? That kind of
That
thing?
will be in our meeting this afternoon. So we will have by the time this gets printed, and we will have, because obviously it's important. But if they're going to look at every certain thing, then look, there's a lot of things could be. I just think there'll be a lot of talking points. I really do.
A word on Yeovil, obviously your former club, and you've played them quite a few times now since you've taken over here. As a first test, how do you kind of see that one?
A tough one, really tough one. You know, they'll be right up for it. They'll be a very well organised side. That'll come here to win. Obviously, the rivalry and so on that we've had will be prominent. And as I said, it's a very tough start. Very tough start for us. First games of the season are always difficult. There's always a few freak results. There's always a few things happen that. You know, you don't envisage happening or you don't want to happen and so on, and what we're going to make sure is that we're disciplined, we're proud of professional performance, and we continue the vein that we've had in pre-season, because we've had a very productive pre-season.
And obviously Jake Gray's now gone there from here. Do you think you'll have a point to prove, or any sort of added coming into the game at all?
I don't know so much about a point to prove. He'll obviously want to play well against his old club. That's natural. We won't say a point to prove, because he doesn't need to prove anything anyway. What a good player he was. The only reason we allowed Jake Gray to leave, because he got very frustrated by only playing 30 games last year. So that was his choice, not mine. So that's fine. You know, we don't stand in anyone's way. If someone feels that we are holding them back in any way, then okay, there's a conversation to have. Jake wanted more game time, and I'm sure he'll get that at Luton, at Yeovil. I couldn't guarantee him it, so that's why Jake's gone. But he went with our blessing. Lovely lad. Absolutely no problem with him, and he's gone to a good home, because he was a good club.
And I guess home form is vital this year, isn't it? 'Cause maybe too many draws are picked up at Kenilworth Thread last season, but if you can put that right, that'll be a big factor, won't it?
Yeah, look, there's a few things. We've identified certain things that we didn't do well last year, or we could have improved on, and look, drawing games was one of those things, and it wasn't for want of trying to win a game, because we never ever. I think, to be honest, the only time we ever had to sort of see out a game at 1-1, for example, was Mansfield away, where it was they went very direct and bombarded, and a point was no problem for us at that time. But every time we have drawn, or every time we are drawn, we look to have won the game. So we have a real ambition about us, and that's not going to change. Obviously, what we have to do is get a bit of naivety about, not give teams certain things, but I'm sure everyone thinks like that. But all we have to do is just make sure we go one place better than we did last year, and we'll be fine.
And just in the squad, any injuries picked up at all, and how are both Danny and James Justin coming on at the moment?
Yeah, very well. You know, we're having to be careful with them, because neither of them likes to be held back. As you know, with Danny's a nightmare in that kind of way. But they're very, very close, so that's good. I've been fortunate enough that we've got the calibre of player to replace those, because they're too big players for any side at this level and the level above. So look, we're blessed with that squad that can cope with those things, but they'll be coming back, and for Danny especially, well, for both of them really, because we haven't seen either of them in pre-season. It'll be like adding two fresh faces. I know that's a cliche, but it's pretty true.
Is there any sort of time frame on their returns, or?
No, look, they're running fully. They're doing everything. They'll integrate with training starting Monday. Well, a little bit tomorrow actually. They start Monday, and then it's just building them up, so it's how quick they can get up to speed. We won't rush them. Envisage the Tottenham game being a potential one, but again, it's a long season, so rather than force someone now and have them picking up certain muscular strains or anything, we'll make sure we bring them back safely and properly, so that they're durable for the season.
Is that potentially a less intense game to ease them back in?
No, it's just time frames.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will be a less intense game than anything else, but it's just time frames really. And the Barnet game might be too soon for them. So if it is, and they've got a good 2 weeks training under their belt, then it'll just be sensible not to push them into the Barnet game. You never know, they might excel, but we envisage the Tottenham game being the one that we may give a minute in.
And going back to penalty shootouts for a sec, will the new rules concerning the penalties change the way you practice for them at all?
Not really. I mean, to be fair, we'd be blessed with good penalty takers. We have obviously Danny Hilton's a penalty taker, James Collins is a penalty taker at his club. Alan Sheehan has been. We've got real good technicians, real good people that want to. Andrew Shinney, Jordan Cook, who are excellent technicians in that. So, we're happy.
I think the reason they gave it took the pressure off the second penalty taker. I mean, does that sound about right? Is there always more pressure on the people that step up second?
I don't think so. I think it's just an alternate thing, It's just sort of a new way of doing it. Whether it's right or wrong or whatever, I don't know. It's quite inventive, so let them do it. I said I'm sure we'll be talking about other things more than the penalty shootouts.
Do you practice them now? I mean, in the past, some managers made a point of saying, no, we don't practice penalties because you can't simulate that kind of pressure.
I don't think we can simulate that type of pressure. I really don't. But look, when we come around that type, we do practice pens. Further on to the playoffs, and when we were the Checkatrade games, we did practice penalties. But I generally don't think that you can simulate the exact same thing, because there's no. You can practice and you can try and get into a mindset, but it's far different when you're walking towards a thing when your mate's just missed one and you desperately need this to thing. The goal seems smaller, the keeper seems bigger, the ball seems like a ton. So all those things go through your mind. It's a psychological thing, not a technical thing. It's a psychological thing. If you can handle the psychology of things, then you're fine.
Okay. And just finally, the player that you mentioned, you've been having a little look at this week. I mean, is there potential for a Sybil type situation where you might have a second look, or is it a line drawn under?
It's not. We haven't had a look at anyone. We're actively seeking to try and sign someone. So it's just not been the case yet. But look, it won't make or break us at this point. It's one we've envisaged and saw, and the club have given us a little bit of a go-ahead to do if we want to do it. So we're just investigating it really and seeing if it's feasible to do. If it's not, then we're covered. It just gives us a different dimension, something different. But we'll let you know that in time. But it's no one we're having to look at, no trial or anything.
Yeah. Could we say what sort of position you're looking at to strengthen? Or?
I might as well just tell you, yeah. No, look, if you just give us time on it, when it comes, it'd be wrong of us to think or to put anything out, speculation, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But we won't do that, so just give us a bit of time. When it's done, you'll be the first to know.
Okay.